Let's begin in mountain pose. Feet are hip distance apart, lined up with your hip bones and your knees. Shoulders are relaxed but engaged across the shoulder blades. Quads are engaged, making your tummy a little bit engaged. Close your eyes, head, neck, and spine all in a line. Breathing deeply, feeling the ribs on the sides of your body expand as you inhale. And exhaling fully. Taking anything in your mind and setting it on the side of your mat, knowing that it will be there when you're finished. Let's just focus right now on this moment, on this time we have together. Feeling that breath as it enters you and leaves your body, letting it calm you with each breath. And then shifting your focus to our intention today, which is worry. Worry does not empty tomorrow of its sorrow. It empties today of its strength. Letting that soak in as we release our worry and fill ourselves with strength to face the day. And let's open the eyes. Spread the feet a little bit wider than the hips. Toes are pointed at the corners of your mat. We'll begin with moonflowers and sunflowers. Sweeping the arms up with an inhale. Coming down into a wide squat. Shoulder blades come together in the back with the exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Continuing with your own breath. Two more, and we'll switch to sunflowers. Inhaling up, exhaling, sweeping the arms into a big circle in front of you. Warming up the whole body here. Two more. And relax. We'll come back to mountain pose. We're going to do a chair flow. Take a breath in, mountain. Sweeping the arms up. Hinging from the hips forward into a forward fold, slight bend in the knees. Hang out here for just a minute, warming up the back of the legs. Reverse your swan dive. Leave the arms extended and come into chair. Inhaling up, exhaling, folding. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, chair. Again, sweeping up. Folding forward, reversing, and chair. Again, sweeping up, folding forward, reversing, and coming into chair. Inhaling up, exhaling, swan dive forward. Inhaling, reverse your swan dive. Exhale, chair. Last time, sweeping up, folding forward, reversing, and chair. We're going to come into a downward dog, so sweeping the arms up, hinging from the hips, folding forward, placing your hands on the mat, stepping back into a downward dog, pressing your hips into the sky, bringing your ears between your shoulders, pedaling the heels, warming up the back of the legs. Maybe swaying the hips back and forth. And then dropping the knees to the mat, stacking your joints, bringing your shoulders above your wrists, your hips above your knees. And we're going to come into cat and cow. So inhaling, lifting the chest, looking up, exhaling, rounding the back, warming up the spine. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Working with your own breath, slowly moving each vertebrae from the bottom of your head and neck all the way to your tailbone. Two more times. And we'll meet back at neutral spine, and then we're going to come into a spinal balance. So lifting the left arm up, right foot back, flex toes, pull that belly button in towards the spine. Take a breath right here. And release and switch. Right arm, left foot. And release. Now we'll flow with the breath, inhaling up, exhaling back, trying to just move the arms and legs, leaving your torso nice and still. Right arm, left foot. Inhale up, exhale down. Switch, inhale up, exhale down. Squeezing those glutes as you lift, keeping that core engaged. One more each way. And then sinking back to child's pose. Maybe arms are extended. Maybe they're back by your feet. Maybe your knees are close together and maybe they're wide. Whatever's comfortable for you today. Then we'll pull forward into a kneeling plank. Lower down for chaturanga. Drop the belly, lift the chest for baby cobra, and press back for child's pose. Inhaling forward, exhaling lower. Inhaling lift, exhaling press back. Moving with the breath. Kneeling plank, chaturanga, baby cobra, child's pose. Pulling forward, lowering, lifting, and pressing back. One more. Inhaling forward. Exhaling lower. Inhaling lift. Exhaling press. Flipping the toes, pressing up into a downward dog, and then stepping forward into a forward fold, reversing your swan dive, and coming back to mountain. Next, we're going to move into our sun salutations. We'll do 2 modified on each side and then 4 full sun salutations on each side. So we'll begin in mountain pose. Again, feet are hip distance apart, engaging the quads, engaging the glutes. Shoulders are down and back, feeling that engagement across the shoulder blades. Head, neck, and spine are all in a line. We'll inhale up. Exhale, folding, hinging from the hips, stepping back with the left foot onto the knee. Bringing the arms up if it feels good, low lunge. Hands come down, right leg comes around, sinking back to child's pose. Pulling forward for a plank, lowering chaturanga. Dropping the belly, lifting the chest for baby cobra, and pressing back. Left leg comes forward. Low lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse your swan dive. And come into chair. Again, sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the left onto the knee. Low lunge. Hands come down. Right leg comes around, sinking back. Pulling forward, plank, chaturanga, baby cobra, and child's pose. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse your swan dive, and come into chair. Switching sides, still modified, sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the right onto the knee. Low lunge. Hands come to the mat, left leg comes around. Pulling forward, plank, chaturanga, baby cobra, and child's. Stepping forward with the right, low lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse your swan dive, and come into chair. One more time, modified, sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the right onto the knee. Hands come down, left leg comes around, sinking back. Pulling forward, plank, chaturanga, baby cobra, child's pose. Right leg comes forward. Low lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse, and chair. Switching sides, moving into full postures, hinging from the hips, folding forward, stepping back with the left into a lunge. Hands come to the mat, step back into downward dog. Floating forward for plank, lowering chaturanga, flipping the toes for upward dog, pressing back for downward dog. Left leg forward. High lunge. Hands come to the mat, feet together. Reverse, and chair. Again, sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the left. Hands come to the mat, right leg comes back. Floating forward, lowering, flipping the toes and lifting, and pressing back. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse your swan dive. Come into chair. Again, sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the left. Hands come to the mat, right leg comes back, floating forward, lowering, lifting for upward dog, pressing back for downward dog. Left leg forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse, and chair. One more time on this side, sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the left. Hands come to the mat, right leg comes back. Floating forward, lowering, lifting, and pressing back. Left leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse, and chair. Switching sides, sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the right, high lunge. Hands come to the mat, left leg comes back, downward dog. Floating forward for plank, lowering chaturanga. Lifting for upward dog, pressing back for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse, chair. Sweeping up, folding forward. Right leg comes back. Hands come to the mat, left leg steps back. Downward dog, floating forward, lowering, lifting, and pressing back. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse, and chair. Sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the right. Hands come to the mat, left leg comes back. Floating forward, lowering, lifting, and pressing back. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse, and chair. Last one. Sweeping up, folding forward, stepping back with the right. Hands come to the mat, left leg comes back. Floating forward, lowering, lifting for upward dog. Pressing back for downward dog. Right leg comes forward. Hands come to the mat, feet together, reverse your swan dive. And chair. And relax. Take a few deep breaths right here in mountain. We'll begin our next section with a chest expansion. So clasp your hands behind your back, open the shoulders in the front, open the chest. In the back, shoulder blades are coming together. Breathing, letting your heart rate come back down from sun salutations. And then release that clasp. Come into lateral flexion, one arm down, the other arm up, pulling in both directions and leaning to one side just a little bit. Then we'll switch sides, pulling in both directions and then leaning. Coming back to mountain, we're going to come into a downward dog. So sweeping the arms up, hinging from the hips, folding forward, placing the hands on the mat and stepping back into your downward dog. Just holding right here and breathing. Dropping your left knee, pivoting that back foot out, shifting your left hand so it's under your shoulder and opening up for a modified side plank. Or once you're set in your modified side plank, maybe kicking that leg out and coming into a full side plank. Keeping that core engaged. And coming back to downward dog. Raising that left leg up behind you, swinging it through, planting that right heel and coming up for warrior one. Coming back down, hands on the mat, stepping back into downward dog again, holding here. Dropping your right knee, kickstanding the foot out, shifting your hand a little bit to line up under your shoulder, coming into a modified side plank, and then maybe kicking that leg out for a full side plank. Coming back to downward dog. Lifting the right leg behind you, swinging it through, planting the left heel, coming up for warrior one. Hands come to the mat, come back to downward dog. Hanging out here, flowing through a half series with me. Plank, chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Raising the left leg behind you, swinging it through, planting the right heel, coming up for warrior one. Left knee is bent. Arms are extended, shoulders are down and engaged, like the shoulder blades are trying to get into your back pockets. Opening up the hip, pivoting that back foot just a little bit for warrior two. Your back foot is parallel with the back of your mat. Front leg is still bent. You're looking over those front fingers. Tailbone is tucked, belly button is pulled towards the spine. Taking your right hand, tucking it behind your back, flipping your left hand palm up, and lifting up for reverse warrior. Front leg is still bent. Cartwheeling the hands down to the mat, coming into a downward dog. Hanging out right here or flowing through a half series with me. Plank, chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. And then lifting that left leg behind you again, swinging it through. Lifting up into warrior three. And then bringing the hands back down to the mat, coming back into downward dog. Reconnecting with your breath, and we'll begin the other side. Right leg comes up behind you, swing it through. Plant the left heel, come up for warrior one. Opening the hip, pivoting the back foot a little bit, warrior two, tucking that tailbone, pulling the belly button in, looking over the right fingers. Tucking the left hand behind your back, flipping, palm up on the right hand and lifting, reverse warrior. Bringing the hands down to the mat, stepping back into downward dog. Staying right here or flowing through a half series with me. Plank, chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Again, lifting that right leg behind you, swinging it through. Bringing your weight into your front foot, lifting for warrior three. Bringing the hands back down to the mat, stepping back to downward dog. Dropping to the knees and coming back into child's pose. And we're going to pull forward onto our bellies and come into locust. Arms come behind, We're going to lift the head, the chest, and the arms, and then lift the legs as well. And breathe. And relax. From here, press back to child's pose again. And then we'll lift, shift onto one hip, bring the legs around. So now we're sitting. We're gonna lie back on our backs. Knees are up, feet are flat on the floor. About hip distance apart, arms are at your sides. Lift one leg, flex the toes, bring it across the thigh above the knee of the other leg. We're going to open up that hip by pressing, and if it feels good, go ahead and lift, grab underneath your thigh, pull that leg toward you. And then release. We'll do the other side. Lifting the leg, flexing the toes, bringing it across. First, just press the thigh, opening up the hip a little bit. And then go ahead and lift, pulling, clasping your hands behind your thigh and pulling toward you if it feels good. And release. We're going to sit up and come into a boat. A few options for boat. You can keep your hands right behind you and lift your legs. You can come onto your forearms if you want. You can hold behind your knees. And you can let go. So choose what works for you today and breathe. And relax. Next, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. If you want to roll up a blanket and sit on it to raise up your hips, that's fine. Bring the soles of your feet together, spine straight, grab your ankles, and flap like a butterfly. Flap the knees. And then stop flapping. Continue holding onto the ankles. Take the elbows, press them into the legs as you hinge forward, but keep your spine straight. Keep your gaze towards me. We're not rounding the spine or dropping the head right now. Then we'll bring both legs out in front. Let's lift the left leg up so the knee is up. Take that foot, put it across. Take your right arm around your knee, left hand behind your back, and look over that left shoulder for a spinal twist. Come back to center, extend the other leg. And now lift the right leg, knee up, bring the foot over the leg, take your left arm around the knee, Right arm behind you, look over the right shoulder. And come back to center. And now you can prepare for final relaxation. You can lie down on your back, on your side, or on your belly. Knees can be up or down. Feet can be extended out or in cobbler's pose, whatever is comfortable for you today. Find a position where you can relax and maybe close your eyes. Bring your focus inward to your breath. Notice how you feel right now. Breathe into any parts of your body that need a little bit of extra attention. Breathe through your heart and feel that life energy going right through your heart. Inhale calm. Exhale worry. Inhale peace. Exhale tension. Let it all go right now. And then bring your focus to my voice. The truth is that our finest moments are most likely to occur when we are feeling deeply uncomfortable, unhappy, or unfulfilled. For it is only in such moments, propelled by our discomfort, that we are likely to step out of our ruts and start searching for different ways or truer answers. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your awareness back to your space. Take a moment or two, and then roll to one side and bring yourself to a seated position. We'll inhale up and exhale down. One more time, inhale up and exhale down. The light in me honors and appreciates the light in you. Namaste.